Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matt Dirksen. Obviously, you've seen me before on the channel. Hopefully more eventually. But today, for a disc golf review, I'm essentially going to do an in-the-bag review. I know these are pretty popular in the pro disc golf space, and a lot of people better than me have done this before. But I thought, I would give it a try. Sorry about that. Because personally, everyone plays differently, and everyone has different tendencies, different discs that they like, what they don't like, and I'm pretty much going to go through what I like pretty much and what I use. And I'm going to go from drivers first all the way down to putters. First driver, of course, is the Star Destroyer, probably the most popular disc in my bag. I'm pretty sure every single pro or everyone that loves disc golf has used this disc at least one time in their life. We're at the 12-speed 5, so it's definitely one of the faster discs in the game. And one thing that's really cool about it is you can throw forehand and backhand with it, where normally some discs in here I specifically throw forehand and some I specifically throw backhand, where this disc is very multi-purpose where you can do both and do really well in both. And with the -1 turn and the 3 fade, you're really able to get really good flex shots with it and you're really able to bomb it a lot more and get those crazy distances. Next up is probably my favorite driver in the bag is my Innova Champion Firebird. And just for clarification, all of my discs are Innova. I personally just love the brand. I love just sticking with one brand. So this Champion Firebird right here, this is my favorite disc. Reason being is I'm a primary forehand player, and I personally love throwing the forehand, and forehand's probably my best throw. And with this Firebird, the reason why it's so good for forehand is with this lower glide, and then with it being very, very overstable, it's definitely a more advanced disc because of its overstability. But how I'm able to just snap my wrist and have it fly so cleanly and have it fly exactly how I want it to, I recommend this disc to any advanced players or any players that have been playing for a while who love throwing the forehand and need a driver to do that. I'd happily recommend this disc. Then over here is the T-Bird 3. Not my favorite, I would say. I still use it because I've been throwing it better as of lately with my backhand form getting a lot better. And I mainly throw this backhand, but overall I'm not the biggest fan of this disc compared to the others in my bag. It flies okay, but I think it really dips hard where I throw it, and I can't get full flight on it sometimes, where normally I have to throw it on the perfect angle or else it just like flies straight for a little bit, then just sinks, it just fades right away, even though it's only a 2 fade, which is less than the Firebird. But overall, a pretty solid disc, but not one of my favorites. But the T-Bird, for example, the Star T-Bird, I honestly like this disc more. Reason being is I'm a lot more comfortable throwing forehand and backhand with it, just like the Star Destroyer as well. And it's very comfortable in my hand, it fits really well, and it's able to fly better than the T-Bird 3. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because of the increased glide, where the 3 versions pretty much means that they increase the speed. In this case, it lowers the glide as well. So I think that's why I'm able to throw it better, is because of the increased glide, where it's able to carry out the flight for longer. But and it looks cool as well with this star print, if you can see, if I move it. Not sure if you saw that, but it's pretty cool in person. This, I've mentioned this in a previous video before, the Pro Leopard. I got this disc recently, but it's actually like a perfect starter driver for anyone who wants to get into disc golf but not sure what driver to get. I would highly recommend this driver because it's a 6-speed where it's not super fast, but it's still a pretty decent driver. It has quite a bit of glide, because I believe the max glide is like 6 or 7, so it carries out flight really well, and it's understable, which allows you to pretty much get more distance on it and able for it to travel farther, and it's easier to throw. This one I'm super excited about because this is one of my newer purchases as well, the Star Gator, and this is a very advanced disc where honestly, the Star Gator, in my opinion, is literally just the mid-range version of this Firebird here, where it is a lower speed at 5, so it's a mid-range disc, and with a lower glide as well, but having a lot of fade and being extremely overstable. I pretty much get the same goals with my Gator as well as the Firebird. Just having it, like, get a lot of snap on it. I will say the one downside of this disc is it is really beefy, and it's a very heavy disc. So you need a lot of snap and a lot of power in your forehand to be able to throw it. So for any advanced players out there who need a mid-range, I highly recommend the Star Gator. Works out really well. Then this could also be a beginner disc as well, a really good beginner disc, the Star Mako 3. And the reason I say that it's a 5-speed, so you're able to throw it pretty manageably. But this is one of the only discs, and this is really rare, where it has a 0 turn and a 0 fade. That pretty much means if you throw it flat and on the right angle, it goes perfectly straight. And it's great for those situations where if you're off the tee, or if there's a situation where there's like a really long tunnel and it's pretty narrow and you want to like beeline it straight, I would highly recommend using this disc for any of those situations, just because how much of it's a straight flyer, and that's why I had to get this disc in my bag. Next up, we've seen before as well, the Innova Rock, and it is DX plastic. This is kind of my guilty pleasure disc, because it is the lowest grade plastic you can get, but I'm personally attached to this rock. And as you can see, there's like a lot of dirt and it's kind of beat up a little bit. I've had this disc for a long time, like months and months on end, and I've used it so much, and it's honestly getting a little understable at this point, even though it's an overstable disc. The more beat up it is, the more understable it gets, but I still love using it. Like backhand, fits perfect in my hand. I'm able to rip it really well and able to get a lot of distance with it. This Pig, I love using this Pig so much. I learned about it through Ricky Wysocka, who's one of the top pros in the world in disc golf. He showed me about this Pig in a YouTube video, and I'm like, oh, I might looking at this disc, and I absolutely love it. This is a disc where I could do any frisbee throw or disc throw you can think of. You can use this for a Pig. If it's backhand, forehand, hammer, etc. Any throw you can think of, you can use with this Pig. And you can also use it as a solid putter as well. And last but not least, I have this Champion Aviar here. I want to say I got this about a couple months ago, so there's not that much like dirt and ruckus on it compared to this Pig here that I've used a lot more. This is probably my most used disc, but with this Aviar, this is hands down the most popular putter probably ever in disc golf, where it's just won like so many world championships and so many accolades, has been won by using this putter by a lot of pros. And that kind of made me want to get it because so many people have had success with it. So I started using it, and I personally love it as like a pure putter, where this Pig, I would personally say I use this more of an approach shot to like get close to the basket, and then use the Aviar to kind of get the job done, if you will, to really try and just secure the deal, put it in the basket pretty easily. And yeah, that's all my discs. I hope at least one person from this video has gained some insight and has gained some knowledge more about discs that I use, and you might be able to use this to build your own bag as well, or edit your bag by adding some discs or taking some discs out. And yeah, I hope someone enjoyed it. Yeah.